Hey Shirley fans, it's Jeff Johnson from A Film By Podcast. Have you figured out what riding waves is all about? For Jason and Dee, it's a state of mind where you lose yourself and you find yourself. You don't know it yet, but you got it right here on the Shirley You Can't Be Serious podcast. This week, from the beaches to the banks, Dee and Jason talk big wave riding and ask the question, is it for macho guys with a death wish, or is it the ride, the ultimate ride?
Okay, D, I'm opening a new password on the computer. Guess what it is?
Thor.
No.
God of Thunder.
No.
Thank you, Jason. Point Break.
That's right. You got it. Hey, we are here to talk about two of the biggest action movies and one of the biggest franchises of all time.
Yeah.
We are comparing Point Break from 1991 to The Fast and the Furious from 2001.
Yeah, these movies are coming in at 25 years old and 35 years old. And I just got to say, we talk about movies, we have our, our ideas and stuff. And then this came up that like, hey, The Fast and the Furious is actually a beat by beat copy of Point Break.
Yeah.
And I had never seen The Fast and the Furious before.
Me either.
I mean, I saw the one from 1954 with Roger Corman directing, but I hadn't seen the one from 2001.
Really? That's more than I had.
And I was just like, wow, okay, well. And so you suggested it, or somebody suggested it, and I was
Jeff Johnson was the one who was like, because my idea was Point Break versus Speed.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
The two Keanu Reeves action movies.
Yeah, I remember you suggesting that. And then when that idea came up, I was like, well, I don't know. I've never been interested in the Fast and the Furious franchise at all.
Right.
I'd never seen any one of those movies. But then the idea that, okay, it's a copy, that was kind of intriguing. But I had kind of gotten lukewarm on it. But then once I dived into these two movies, I was like, holy cow, I forgot how incredibly good Point Break is. And I'm really genuinely impressed. I liked The Fast and the Furious. So a couple of great movies, and I'm super excited to talk about them.
Listen, I'm so glad to hear you say that, number one. Number two, I have the exact same experience, okay? So I had not seen The Fast and the Furious. I had no interest in that. I'm not really a car guy. I could care less about that world.
Yeah.
And then when I watched the movie, I was like, this is actually really good. The action was off the chart. They took time developing characters, which nobody does that anymore. It really made me happy to go back and watch. I would give my right nut for a movie like this in the theater. Yeah. Now we don't have this. And then Point Break literally blew my frickin' socks off when I was age 18 in 1991.
Yeah.
And it's even better to me now.
Absolutely. Number one, I kind of didn't appreciate both of these movies led the way for the change in movie making for their particular decade, right? You think back to 1991, the action movies that we had just come from, we went from Rambo and Commando into a good beginning transition with John McClane, right? And Die Hard, but you still had all of these incredible explosions and the big gunplay and bazookas and helicopters,
one-liners,
all these things.
Yeah.
But then, the 90s come, and the 90s take us away from that big set piece stuff and take us into more realistic stuff. But this is 1991. This is the beginning of that. And while Catherine Bigelow's husband is directing one of the biggest sci-fi action explosion galore movies of all time, she is directing what will become the new standard for what action movies will be in the 90s. And then you look at The Fast and the Furious, and it's the flip again. It switches the other way. We went from all of this realism to like, hey, we've got the technology that we got from, and this is great that I'm saying this, The Matrix. Right. And Fight Club, and these incredible computer graphics that we are now able to do in these action movies, and they took that and put it into cars, and that then changed what we were going to see for from action movies, not for the next 10 years, for the next 20 years.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, I
For
mean,
sure.
the last 20 years of movies have been the big action, high CGI, computerized movies that, again, we're swinging away from, but it's just incredible these movies set the stage for them.
I long for these movies. Like, I miss them so much.
And they're both underground heroes. Like you would not have expected a movie, I mean, in 1991, directed by a woman, to be this movie, right? It is a guy's guy movie, right?
You're not lying at all. For me as an 18-year-old, I couldn't decide whether I wanted to be an FBI agent or a surfer for life.
Right. I mean, and Patrick Swayze's coming off of Next of Kin, and obviously had done, Dirty Dancing in the mid 80s, which is actually when the script started. But to see him go from those kind of characters, and Ghost was happening like at the same time. Like he was missing some shooting days in Point Break to go promote Ghost, right? So
The foot chase that you're talking about.
yes, yeah.
Okay.
And so to see him in this completely different character, this spiritual kind of guru. I mean, he's always kind of been the leader, right, in all of his movies, but he is this totally different type of Patrick Swayze. And Keanu Reeves literally had never been an action guy until this movie. And then what do we get after this? We don't get a Point Break franchise. We get The Matrix, all of them, John Wick, all of them. I haven't seen like Johnny Mnemonic and some of his other stuff, but it made him the action star that made him as famous as he is today. And then The Fast and the Furious. I mean, guys, we're talking about a B movie. I'm not going to lie here. This is a B movie that was just pretty dadgum good.
Right.
Like you've got B stars. Nobody was famous in this. Not a big director. It was just something that hit the right notes at the right time and exploded into, I can't imagine how much money this franchise has generated. I said was like 11 movies, if you include Hobbs and Shaw, 11 movies in the last 25 years. That's James Bond status.
It really is. You're right. I want to backtrack on something that you mentioned before we trash Terminator 2, which came out the week before Point Break.
Yeah.
That was a life-changing movie for
Absolutely.
the 90s. It was sort of sci-fi and explosions and guns and, one-liners and that type of thing. Literally, within the same weekend to weekend, we get Terminator 2 and Point Break. How good was that summer?
And Point Break's opening weekend, it's number 2.
Behind
Only
T2?
to Terminator 2.
Yeah.
And considering the juggernaut that Terminator 2 was, I just wonder if they'd switched the order that they came out, if Point Break might have debuted at number 1, because it would have, but for T2.
Yeah.
I mean,
no doubt.
And they're married, right? I don't know if we said that, but James Cameron and Catherine Bigelow are married at this time, and her movie comes out and she's finishing second to him, which, I mean, of course, the guy comes first, right?
Oh my gosh. Took me a second there. Yes, I got it. By the way,
Yeah.
in 2010,
Yeah.
Catherine Bigelow and James Cameron went head-to-head in the Oscars for Best Director.
Oh, yeah.
Can you name the movies?
So 2010.
Would have been 2009 movies.
Okay, so would that have been The Hurt Locker?
Yep.
Okay, and then Avatar?
Yeah.
Wow.
How about that?
Man,
Guess who won?
Hurt Locker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, it was incredible.
We saw Avatar together, and we both really liked it, too.
Yeah, we really did. No, that's amazing. And I was telling you earlier, people are not talking about Catherine Bigelow enough. Like and maybe it's just me, or maybe it's just my circle or whatever. And I realize, like, I know the name, but holy cow, her resume is incredible. She makes incredibly good movies.
Let's talk about them.
So the first one, I mean, I haven't seen almost any of them except for Point Break. The first one that I can recall is Near Dark.
Near Dark.
I think that may have been her second movie. Her first movie was something like The Loveless with Willem Dafoe or something like
Right.
that. But I mean, whatever.
Her first impactful movie was
Yeah.
Near Dark, which we talked about when we did our Aliens episode.
Yes.
Because in Near Dark, you've got Jeanette Goldstein, you've got Bill Paxton, and you've got Lance Hendrickson.
All of those guys from Aliens.
Well, Aliens, right? And she had those like packaged for Jim Cameron to come around and say, okay, I'm just grabbing you three and bringing you right into my movie.
Yeah.
Because you already know each other. You already have chemistry. You're already ready to go.
It's perfect.
Near Dark.
Yes. So Near Dark. Then I think Point Break was after
Blue
that.
Steel.
Oh, right. Blue Steel. That was the one with Jamie Lee Curtis.
Jamie Lee Curtis. That's a really good movie. People sleep on that movie. That's a really good movie.
Okay. I'll check it out. I mean, I've been impressed. And then what did she do after Point Break?
Point Break. She did Strange Days in 95.
Oh, that was a great one. That was a great movie. That's
Cameron
got Ray
produced.
Fiennes
Yeah.
and Juliette Lewis, right?
Yes, that's right.
Oh, man. I need to go back. Because
a
I
good
have
one.
seen that one, I think. But I can't even remember. Dang. I think I
They
saw that
like-
in the theater, and I don't think I've seen it since then.
It's like a drug deal, except they sell like you wired into your brain experiences, you know, and stuff.
It's like a virtual kind of thing.
It is, yeah. Then after that, she does The Hurt Locker,
Yeah.
and she does Zero Dark 30.
Oh, right. Yeah.
And you've not seen any of those. And I told you, man, you were like all excited about Catherine Bigelow. I'm like, just wait until you watch Hurt Locker and Zero Dark 30.
Yeah. Incredible.
They are amazing movies.
Yeah. Well, we're kind of gushing here a little bit. I just haven't. I'm just genuinely excited about this. Like, you know, we have these movies that are iconic movies. We do Ferris Bueller's Day Off, or we do Purple Rain, or we do you know, any big album that we're doing, and I get excited about these movies. And this one, I was like, oh, okay. And then once I got into it, I'm like, oh my gosh, I did not appreciate how incredibly good these movies are.
I'm glad that you're saying that. So let's get into the birth of Point Break.
Well, since you're still alive and you're not in the box just yet, why don't you tell me this theory of yours and we'll go get these guys?
Okay, hot shot. You want to nail the bank robbers and be a big hero?
Definitely.
Definitely. Then here it is. The ex-presidents are surfers.
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 Okay, so for Point Break, if I remember right, it comes from a newspaper article in the LA Times, right? About the crime, I think LA being the biggest robbery city in the country. Is that
The bank robbing capital of the United States is Los Angeles.
right? So Rick King sees these two articles and he's, you know, you've got beaches and you've got bank robberies, and hey, why not do a movie that involves both of these things? So the guy who's the original writer on this is Peter Iliff, and he's working as a waiter.
Right.
Like, that's his job.
Yes.
And I'm not sure whether it's he gets paid the money to write the script or he writes the script and gets paid for it. But basically, he only makes about $6,000.
$6,000.
$6,000 on this script. Now,
Pretty good tip, but
great tip. Not so good for a blockbuster
That's right.
movie, right?
That's right.
So anyway, all of this happens in the mid 80s. Like, this is 1986, right?
That's right.
Now, do you know what else was going on in 1986?
Top Gun.
Top Gun, for sure, which then gave birth to Days of Thunder, which then was later combined with Point Break to make the Fast and the Furious.
That's
But
right.
we're getting a little ahead of ourselves right now.
Right.
So in 1986, Rob Lowe was in this movie called Youngbloods.
That's right.
Have you seen it?
I may have seen it in 1987, but I don't remember hardly anything from it.
Well, so there's a leader of this hockey team, kind of the wise old sage, played by Patrick Swayze.
Yes.
And this young, goofy, inexperienced goalie, played by Keanu Reeves.
That's
It's
crazy.
crazy. It's crazy.
Okay, real quick.
Yeah.
I just want to talk about Patrick Swayze's career just for a second.
Oh, yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Now, you know, he almost really close to leaving acting behind and not doing this, right?
Yeah. We dived deep into this when we did our Dirty Dancing episode, but yeah, let's
right.
let's retell. Yeah.
So, you know, he was older when he kind of hit, right?
Yeah.
So The Outsiders is kind of, you know, first of all, don't forget the Rosanna video by Toto, okay, which came out in 1982.
Fake news.
So anyway, he does The Outsiders.
Yeah.
Francis Ford Coppola, you got C. Thomas Howell, you got Tom Cruise, you got Rob Lowe, you got all these guys, Emilio Estevez, in The Outsiders, okay? From that, he does Red Dawn,
Yeah.
which is another kind of a step, you know, towards stardom,
Yeah.
okay? Now, he does Youngblood, but then when he really hits it big is Dirty Dancing. So he does Dirty Dancing in 87. He does Next to Kin and Roadhouse in 89. He does Ghost in 1990.
Yeah.
And then he does Point Break in 91. That little stretch right there.
He's a
He's
rising
killing
star
it right there.
He's a rising star.
Yep.
And I love that he's talking about the surveillance that he did when he's watching Bodhi that he stopped for lunch at Patrick's Roadhouse.
I know, right? That was really cool.
I mean, in the theater, I was like, yeah, all right, cool. I'm like, yeah.
Hey, by the way, just a little nugget.
Yeah.
When Dom and Brian stopped for lunch in The Fast and the Furious,
Yeah.
do you know where they stopped?
No.
They stopped at a place called like Neptune's Lunch or something like that.
Okay.
It's the restaurant that Lori Petty is working at in Point
No
Break.
way.
It's the same place.
Okay, so I watched, when I rewatched these yesterday, I watched them both yesterday.
Yeah.
I watched The Fast and the Furious first because I wanted to be like, okay, I'm going to not have Point Break in my brain already. I want to see this kind of as with fresh eyes. And I really didn't think it was like everybody calls it a beat for beat copy.
It's
I don't
not
think
a beat
that.
for beat. Yeah.
It's not that at all.
Inspired by,
it's
for
very,
sure.
Definitely. The storyline has got a whole lot of similarities to Point Break for sure, but definitely not a beat for beat as far as the scenes go. But so I'm watching it. And there's a party scene, right? Brian comes to Dom's house for the party after rescuing him. And Dom says, you can have any beer you want as long as it's Corona.
That's right.
And I thought, oh man, how much did Corona pay for that?
Right.
Then I watched Point Break.
Right.
And Point Break, oh my gosh, there they are. Like Gary Busey and Keanu Reeves are sitting, going through their investigation, sharing Coronas. The 6-pack is sitting on top of the TV. The guys all are drinking it throughout the movie. I'm like, wow, they really did. They tapped into those little subtleties to go, hey, this is an homage. Like we are given respect. We're not trying to steal this and not be, and to hide it.
Yeah.
This is deliberate.
Here's one thing I noticed
Yeah.
that I think may be an homage that nobody has pointed out so far.
Oh, yeah.
I have not come across this.
Tell me.
Okay. The girlfriend in Point Break,
Yes.
Tyler,
Right. Yes.
played by Lori Petty.
Yes.
The girlfriend in The Fast and the Furious,
Yes.
her name is Letty.
Interesting.
Just
Okay.
wondering, Petty, Letty.
Yeah, Laura, I get it.
You know?
That's solid. That's solid. I like that.
Hey, back to 1986.
Yes.
You're talking about Youngblood just a minute ago.
Yeah.
This script by Rick King and Peter Iliff bouncing around Hollywood. Do you know who picks it up? Like options it to direct?
Yeah, I do. Ridley Scott.
Ridley Scott.
Ridley freaking Scott. And so the guy who gave us Alien, the guy whose brother gave us Days of Thunder and Top Gun.
And Jim Cameron, who took over the Aliens franchise from.
It's all like kind of all fitting together. It was just they couldn't get a green light on this deal. And I'm glad that it didn't get made earlier than it did because I'm really glad that Catherine Bigelow broke through with this movie. She nailed it.
The casting what ifs, which we'll talk about here in a second,
Yeah.
in 1986, will blow you away.
Well, and then that's an important thing because she had wanted to make the movie for a long time. They had redone the script a few times, and she's married to James Cameron.
That helps.
He has flat out said that he wrote the whole movie. And I don't know how much of that is true, but
A little bit of Gene Simmons complex.
maybe a little bit, maybe. But I mean, everybody agrees that he wrote the jumping out of the airplane with the parachute scene. That was all James Cameron, right? But one of Catherine Bigelow's things was, I want Keanu Reeves in this part, and the studios didn't want him. They wanted Val Kilmer or Tom Cruise or some other recognizable action.
Johnny Depp. Yeah.
Yeah, chiseled guy to be this cop. And she was like, no, I only want Keanu Reeves. I won't direct it unless it's Keanu Reeves.
Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen the movie The River's Edge?
No.
Okay. So Keanu Reeves and Crispin Glover, Iona Sky, they're in this, and they're kind of dirtbags. They're kind of dirtbags.
Yeah.
And then the whole world knows Keanu Reeves as Ted,
Yeah.
Theodore Logan,
Right.
right? From Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure.
Yeah.
Bill. What? Strange things are afoot at the Circle K.
That's your mom, Ted. And he was just a goofball, stoner, not serious. There's no way that kid is an action star.
Yeah. I mean, he's a slacker in Parenthood.
Yeah. And she says, no, he's an action star. I can see it in him.
Yeah.
And you know what? She was right.
Well, and so in preparation, I mean, it gets greenlit, right? And so, yes, they're going to make the movie. And Patrick Swayze was one of those guys who he auditioned for Johnny Utah,
Right.
which, by the way, that was the original name of the movie, was Johnny Utah. Now, I'm sure glad they didn't go with that. It's a great character name.
It's a great
Brilliant.
name, bad title.
Right. So, yeah, when I hear Johnny Utah, I'm like, oh, that sounds like a quarterback's name. Because in our brains, we've got Joe Montana and Johnny Unitas.
Yep.
And so it all makes sense, right?
Some quarterback punk, Johnny Unitas or something.
And so, but he had to prep for several months to get into shape for this. And like, this is like I actually worked out. I actually learned to use guns to play these parts. This was his commitment to this role was, if I'm going to be an action star, I'm going to look like an action star. And then he went and trained with college football coaches, trained with FBI, trained with weapons.
Yep.
I mean, he did his homework on this thing and he freaking nails it.
Okay, let me just stop you right there. He does nail it in every aspect except his throwing motion. I'm not sold on his throwing motion.
His throwing motion when they're on the beach?
Yes.
Okay. Well,
Now, with that said, this movie is very successful, and then he goes on to play another quarterback
right.
in The Replacements.
Yes.
So what do I know?
Yeah,
So,
what do you know?
Not much, apparently.
Well, I mean, and the thing is, he was a hockey player. He was not a football player.
Yes.
He was a hockey player in high school. Swayze was an actual football player in high school.
Listen, both of these guys, when you watch them move,
Yeah.
they're athletes.
Yeah.
You can tell the running, the jumping, climbing fences and chasing guys and tackling in the beach and the water and all that stuff.
It's all brilliant.
Yeah.
It's all brilliant.
I read this the other day that when you attend an Ohio State football game, there are people there with a jersey, number 9, that says Johnny Utah.
That is freaking awesome.
How cool is that?
I want one of those.
Me too.
Okay. That's a mission now. Or, hey, if you're feeling friendly, folks, you want to send us a present, let us know.
J Utah, number 9, all conference.
And by the way, if you want to give us another present, check out our Patreon page. Go to patreon.com/ShirleyPodcast. You can join for free for as little as $5 a month. You get access to all of our One Hit Wonder episodes. And for those of you who hate commercials, we put out our episodes a day in advance, commercial free on our Patreon page. So if you're tired of hearing the commercials and you're willing to give up $5 measly a month, can't even get a cup of coffee for that anymore, you can hear all of our episodes commercial free and get all the secret episodes too. So check it out, Shirley Podcast on patreon.com.
Yes. And to all our patrons, we thank you so much.
Oh, thanks. Yeah.
By the way,
Yeah.
you haven't even said anything about my t-shirt.
Oh, dude, I've been not looking at your boobs. I'm sorry. You.
Ouch. Ouch.
Well, yes, I love it. Bodhi Surf Shop.
Bodhi Surf Shop, Bells Beach, Australia.
It's perfect. That's fantastic.
Since 1991.
Speaking of which, just in case you don't know what Point Break is, we were talking about the different names for this movie. This was going to be Johnny Utah, and then it was going to be
Riders on the Storm.
Riders on the Storm, like the Doors song, but that didn't
So
quite fit. It's a fair title.
I think that's a good title.
It's a fair title.
I think they would have had to somehow roped in the Doors music, and I don't think they really wanted to do that.
Right. And the Doors, the movie, came out close to that same time,
Came
right?
out in 91.
Right.
I think maybe around Thanksgiving.
Okay.
So I think that's a cool title, but Point Break I'm fine with.
Well, but do you know what Point Break is?
It's where the wave crashes over, right?
Well, it's where the land underneath the water, like the coral or land or whatever, comes up to a point which creates the break in the wave.
Oh,
that's
okay.
what a point. That's the point of the break is. That's what a point break is. Cool. So I didn't know that. Just thought cool title. Didn't even
Break.
appreciate that it actually
Awesome,
relates
dude.
to surfing, dude. All right, yes. So all right, do we have more origin story on this?
One other thing I just want to point out real quick.
Yeah.
You know what else came out in the summer of 1991?
Other than T2 and
Point Break.
Point Break, yeah.
Bill and Ted's Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey comes out just a few weeks after Point Break. So literally in the theater at the same time, you have Ted Theodore Logan and Johnny Utah. Two guys, same but very different.
Excellent.
Right? Excellent.
Okay, I know we keep coming back to 1986, but just one more thing. Do you know what album came out in 1986? Just tell you, first album. When somebody says 1986, what's the first album that comes to your mind?
Ooh, 1986, Slippery When Wet.
By?
Bon Jovi.
And do you know that the band Dog Star has opened for Bon Jovi?
Really?
Yeah, and do you know why that's important to our conversation?
Because Keanu Reeves plays for Dog Star.
There you go. There's my tidbit for the end of our origin story for Point Break. We'll get back into production and casting here in a minute, but let's talk about 10 years go by, and then we get the Fast and the Furious.
I live my life a quarter mile at a time. Nothing else matters, not the mortgage, not the store, not my team and all their bullshit. For those 10 seconds or less, I'm free.
Again, from an article, right?
Yes.
The Point Break is born from an LA Times news story. And then in the 90s, this article comes out, I think it was 98, comes out in Vibe magazine called Racer X.
Racer X, that's right.
And it's about these, I feel like that what I'm about to say might be racist. So I'm going to.
All right, I'm ready for this.
I remember in the early 2000s, somebody talking to me about these movies and saying how he didn't really like the cars because it was a bunch of rice burners.
Rice burners.
And
okay.
so I think that means that they're Japanese cars. And so that was what was happening in the 90s was all of these little imports were coming in. They were souping up the engines on these very lightly built cars and using them all to do drag racing in the New York City streets.
Yeah, okay.
So this article comes out, and one of the guys that reads it is a guy named Neil Moritz.
Yes.
Okay, and he is a producer, movie producer, and he has just produced a movie called The Skulls.
Yeah.
Have you seen this?
I have not. I'm
Okay.
not familiar with it at all, really.
It is directed by Rob Cohen, and it stars
Paul Walker.
Paul Walker, exactly right. And Moritz, Rob Cohen, and Paul Walker all want to work together again. And so Neil Moritz says, why don't we do a movie about this street racing stuff? And collectively, they kind of decide they want it to be a combination of, that pitch line. It's like Days of Thunder meets Point Break.
See, okay, and I heard Donnie Brasco as well.
Yes, I heard that one too.
So, you go back to that time, and Paul Walker's this rising star, but he's not quite there yet.
Yeah, he's B-level rising star at best, I think.
Yeah. Did you see Varsity Blues?
Yeah.
I mean, he's one
Like
of the...
that's a big one. That was a big
Yeah.
one, but well, what else did he do between that?
Well, this is so Fast and the Furious is what launches him.
Right.
Right? Vin Diesel. Were you familiar with him before?
He was in Saving Private Ryan.
He was in Saving Private
So
Ryan.
I knew him from that. And he had, what was it? Something dark. It wasn't near dark.
Pitch Black.
Pitch Black. That was it. Like Pitch Black.
Is that right? Pitch Black?
I think that.
I think it is Pitch Black.
It's like we should have done some research on this or something.
Well, not only that, but he did the voice of the robot in Iron Giant.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
So like there's this robot, but he doesn't really talk. He just kind of makes noises.
Yeah, it's kind of like I am Groot.
Have you ever known somebody to make as much money saying
Virtually
nothing in 2 movies?
Well, listen, after watching what should have been the emotional scene in The Fast and the Furious where he's talking about the death of his father, I'm like, let's cut Vin Diesel's lines back down to just some slim lines.
See, okay, that's fine. That's fine. I think he does a really good job.
Okay,
And I think he's charismatic. Like I
Absolutely.
buy him as the leader of this car gang.
I think he's
King of
great
the
at this.
streets.
He just shouldn't be trying to deliver emotional
I
speeches.
live my life a quarter mile at a time.
So I might be overly critical on this, and I'll say this now. I had Caleb watch both of these movies with me yesterday,
Yeah.
right? And I don't think he had ever seen either one of them.
Okay.
When I left, now keep in mind,
Binge.
he was asleep when I woke up this morning at 6:45, and was still asleep at 1:45 p.m.
Right.
And when I finally was like, dude, school starts in a week. You cannot sleep until 2 p.m. Get up.
Right.
I hear he watching his phone again, right? And he comes in and he's watching the 5th installment, Furious 5 or whatever it is called.
Yeah.
I'm like, you're already on movie number 5? He's like, yeah, well, I didn't watch Tokyo Drift. I don't care about, I need Dom and I need Brian.
okay.
I don't want that. I'm like, but dude, that means that you started yesterday, like around noon, and you also watched Point Break yesterday.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. And after Point Break, he watched Too Fast, Too Furious. Then he watched whatever number 3 is called. That's Tokyo Drift, isn't it? Then he watched whatever number 4 is called, and he's in the middle of number 5. And I'm going to go ahead and give you his opinion now. We save our final judgment for the end.
Yeah.
But I want to know.
I want to know too.
We finished Point Break, and he definitely loved it, but he was like, I like Fast and the Furious. better.
Okay.
And I said, okay, I had something to go do. I was like, tell me why tomorrow. So
Yeah.
before I left today, his reasoning was he felt like Dom was a better character. Like he was a guy who was trying to save his family. He was trying to do the right thing. He had a code that he lived by. And I'm like, okay, yeah, that's fair. And he's like, he always watched out for his friends. And I was like, yeah, I guess all of Bodhi's friends ended up dead. So that's actually a pretty fair reason. If you got to pick between two movies that to him yesterday he knew nothing about,
Sure.
I can see it. Plus, I can see he grew up on the big CGI action movies, so he's all good with that.
Yeah.
So yeah, he picks the Fast and the Furious, and he told me in like at 2:30 in the morning, he texted me and he's like, "I'm watching Fast and the Furious. Not the Fast and the Furious, which is what you should call it, but Fast and Furious." And Gal Gadot says "Vaya con Dios," and I was like,
Let's go.
nice. He's like, she said it twice, actually. I was like, thank you, Caleb. I appreciate the research you're doing for the podcast.
First of all, just on that's maybe the worst title of a movie of all time.
The Fast and the Furious?
Well, no, because, we can talk about that here in a second, but the first installment is The Fast and the Furious.
Right.
And then like the fourth or fifth or sixth, whatever it is,
Yeah.
is called Fast and Furious.
Yeah, with a little ampersand in the middle of it.
Come
yes.
on. Come on.
Let's be a little more confusing about this.
I tell you, when I was trying to pull it up on Netflix, I was like, which one of these am I watching? Like, I don't know which one.
Yes, that's true. And we're already up to Fast X or Fast and Furious X or Furious X. I don't even know what it's called.
And you got Calvin and Hobbes or whatever that, whatever. I don't even know what that is.
I really hope that The Rock is dressed up like a stuffed tiger. Okay, so they come up with this combination movie of Days of Thunder and Point Break. They write a script that gets redone many times.
Yeah.
They bring in David Ayers to come and help rewrite the script.
Really?
He pulls it out of New York City, brings it over to LA, develops each of the characters significantly more than they had been developed. And I was looking at Rob Cohen, he just directed this movie, and I'm like, oh, this guy's, he's older guy. He's a little older than Catherine Bigelow. He's probably have some history. Not much.
Nothing? Okay.
No. Well, so he graduated from Harvard magna cum laude.
What?
Like in 71 or something like that.
Good for him.
And goes to work in television, does television stuff, ends up being a producer on a few movies that I have never heard of. But one of them is The Wiz. I saw that he was a producer on The Wiz.
Get out.
And tries to do some movies that are just kind of meh in the 90s. And so he goes back to television's doing television for a while. And then this little gem of The Skulls pops up, and that blooms into The Fast and the Furious.
Wow, that's really cool. I love that.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about the alternate titles that could have been instead of The Fast and the Furious.
Yeah.
Okay. So you mentioned it. The Fast and the Furious is actually the title of a movie, a Roger Corman movie from 1954.
Uh-huh.
And in exchange for using that title, they had to give
Like
Roger Corman
B-roll footage, right?
Yeah, like leftover scraps.
That's what you want? Yeah. Do you know how valuable this is?
Roger Corman still using cardboard cutouts and stuff.
He's a brilliant guy, man.
Yeah. So here you go. Here's what it could have been. So Racer X is a possible title. Now that's the name of the article.
Yeah.
I think that works. It could have been
To me, that sounds like the racer cartoon show. What was that one called?
Speed Racer?
Yeah, that sounds like a Speed Racer kind of thing.
I was going to say it sounds like Rally X, the video game Rally X.
Yeah, well, there you go. See, like that. It sounds like a video game cartoon to me is what Racer X sounds like.
I would have been okay with that.
And then they went with Race Wars.
Yes.
Probably not the best title for a movie since it conjures up ideas of racial wars.
Or Star Wars.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
But that was another part about the rewriting of the script. Apparently it was very white bread at the beginning of it, which didn't make any sense because this was, the underground drag racing was definitely a multicultural experience,
Sure.
And so they bring in all of those different ethnicities and I think do a good job of it, man. It's some great stuff.
When we talk about casting, I want to talk about the cultural diversity.
Yeah.
Because sometimes I feel like it's kind of forced on us. Like you got this guy from this country and this guy.
Yeah.
These guys are all kind of like in that same world, and I'm okay with all of that stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
I did want to mention the title Red Line.
Okay, I didn't hear that one.
Okay, so this movie was named Redline for a long time.
Okay.
In fact, on the clickers, when you go back to like the making of, it's Redline.
Redline. Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And I even saw a trailer for Redline due out spring 2001, Redline.
Nice.
And so I guess at the very last second, they were like, nope, The Fast and the Furious.
Yeah, it's better. That's fast. The Fast and the Furious is better than Redline. I mean, the Redline makes me think of the Thin Red Line,
Which was a crappy movie.
and then the only red line that I can think of in the movie is when they're drawing the line for the finish line.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, that's not a good. No, that's not what this movie's about. That's ridiculous.
That's why Racer X was my favorite.
Although I did enjoy that one shot where the girls are spray painting. Like that's a nice blooming pan back or zoom.
Super
back,
cool.
Dolly back, whatever.
Hey, both of these movies were stylized and shot extremely well.
Yeah, and the CGI that they did was really I thought very cool because it's not like making you try to think that you're actually looking at real things. It's like, okay, we're going to take you into this imaginary world where you're running down his arm into the gear shift into the.
Now that stuff was cool.
Yeah.
Like you saw like the firing of the NOS in the engine and like the explosive. Yeah. But when they're racing and like their bodies are stretching and stuff, I was like,
I guess I missed that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was my only problem with that.
Okay.
Other than that, I thought it was extremely well executed.
Yeah.
Okay.
So there's the origin stories for our movies. Let's get into casting for Point Break.
Let's talk about Point Break.
Okay.
Before we do,
Yeah.
here's my trivia question. I'm going to put you on the spot.
Oh, great. I love it.
There are 2 members of the cast of Point Break who have top 10 Billboard 100 songs. Can you name the person and the song? Ready, go. Actually, there's 3 songs.
Okay. So people in Point Break that had top songs.
Top 10 hits
Top
on
10
the
hits.
Billboard charts.
Okay. So one of them's obviously Anthony Kiedis.
Anthony Kiedis has 2.
Okay.
Can you name the songs?
Oh, yeah. Under the Bridge?
Under the Bridge is 1.
Californication?
Close.
Oh,
I think
I don't know.
the song is Scar Tissue.
Okay.
Okay? So there you go.
All right.
1 and 2.
All right.
Who's the other one?
I don't think it's Keanu Reeves. I don't think Dog Stars had a top hit.
It's not Keanu Reeves.
Okay. Patrick Swayze topped the charts with his song, not Angel Eyes, because that's the other movie.
Right?
Not Wind Beneath My Wings,
Close.
but something similar.
Yep.
What's the name of that dadgum song? Hold on. Wait. Don't tell me.
Pull it out. Excuse me while I whip this out.
She's Like the Wind.
She's Like the Wind. Yeah. Well done.
Yay for me.
Number 1 hit from the Dirty Dancing soundtrack.
Yeah.
Patrick Swayze had a number 1 hit.
Nice, dude. Yeah, that I was like I'm searching my brain. I'm like, not any of the. Did Gary Busey with Peggy Sue? What happened?
Right. Under the Bridge hit number 2.
Okay.
There you go.
Nice.
Okay. So that was my trivia for the cast.
By the way, Anthony Kiedis was supposed to have a much larger part in this movie, but the day they did all the fight training, he had other things going on.
Right.
My guess is he was under the bridge.
Yeah, that's right.
So he got knocked out in the first part of the fight and missed
1 punch, boom, bam.
down. Yeah, and they're like, "Well, hey, you weren't here. You don't get to be in the fight."
Right.
Yeah,
That's right.
But man, that's a great scene when he shoots the hole in his foot.
Gosh,
And the scream, and he nails it, right? He nails that scream.
does.
I believed he just shot himself in the foot.
You know, when the bad surfers confront Keanu Reeves, right? And you think, hey, this is the leader of a, war child, could be bank robbing, whatever.
For sure.
And they show up and Keanu Reeves is like, oh, this is where you tell me that you're territorial and punks like me should not come around. And Anthony Kiedis does this whole thing. He's like, that would be a waste of time. And it's so Red Hot Chili Peppers. Like, I just love it, man.
Yeah.
I love everything about this
I
movie.
like his haircut in this one too, because he's got the kind of Z,
Like a shaved
big
and pull back
thing going on.
He doesn't have the ridiculous porn star mustache that he does now.
I didn't get him till later.
All right. So, starring in this movie, Patrick Swayze.
If you want the ultimate, you gotta be willing to pay the ultimate price. It's not tragic to die doing what you love.
Yes.
Okay. He plays Bodhi.
Yes.
Now, I sent you a little deal. Bodhi is a nickname. It's short for Bodhisattva. Okay.
Bodhisattva is like that's got to be a Buddhist thing, right?
Yes.
Okay. By the way, named after a guy named Bodhi McCoy who worked at the restaurant that Peter Iliff was working at.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe a customer. Can't remember. Yeah.
Is there any way I could twist your arm and make you believe that Dalton left the Double Deuce, said, I'm tired of getting beat up and stitched and all this stuff, and he moves to L.A., he grows his hair out, and he decides, you know what, screw this, I'm just going to become this surfer guru guy and rob banks? Come on.
Sure.
Okay. Also, by the
Thought
way.
he'd be bigger, though.
Right?
Yeah.
I kept waiting for Bodhi to say something like, be nice until it's time to not be nice.
Right.
Right? We got to cover Roadhouse one of these days.
Oh, yeah.
There is a really famous Saturday Night Live skit that I saw
Farley.
live.
Yes.
Yeah, it's the one with Chris Farley.
Yeah.
So I remember watching it at that time going, what the freak is Patrick Swayze doing with this ridiculous hairdo?
Uh-huh.
And he does the Chippendales thing with Chris Farley. And it's super funny and super famous.
Hilarious.
It's all the place.
Yeah.
But clearly he is shooting Point Break while he's doing Saturday Night Live.
Exactly. Yeah.
So, okay. So let's talk about the what ifs for this movie. Okay. Patrick Swayze, as you mentioned, they wanted him initially maybe for Johnny Utah.
Yeah.
Okay. And he says, nope, I want to be Bodhi. And as soon as he said that, they're like, you're Bodhi. You got it.
Yeah.
And
He's the perfect guy for the part.
Crushes it.
He's the perfect. He has that kind of spiritual guru vibe anyway. And in every movie that he's been in, he's the wiser guy. He's the mentor in everything that he's in, right? So it's perfect.
The leader?
That he would be the leader of this group of dumb surfers.
Yeah. He is absolutely perfect for this role.
Yeah.
I mean, he was born to play this role. All right. Let's talk about Keanu Reeves.
Okay.
Bodhi, this is your f***ing wake-up call, man. I am an FBI agent.
I know, man. Isn't it wild?
Initially, when this movie was in the hands of Ridley Scott,
Yes.
they wanted Matthew Broderick
Heard that.
to play Johnny Utah.
Yeah. That'd have been a stretch.
We're talking Ferris Bueller?
Yeah. I mean, I can see him. It's a different kind of thing, man. I just can't see Matthew Broderick surfing and being an action gun-toting guy.
Can you see him playing beach surf football where he tackles a guy?
No. He's great. I love him, but he's not that guy.
I can see him singing Donkashane on a parade.
Well, yeah.
William Dafoe was considered to be a possible Johnny Utah
I saw that too.
way back.
Yeah.
Okay.
Of course, he was in Catherine Bigelow's first movie too, so there's a connection there.
Yeah. How about Charlie Sheen?
That I could see for sure.
I saw him mentioned for both parts.
Yeah, I could see either one of the parts, and it worked, and it would work. Yeah.
I mean, the guy from Major League, I mean, clearly he played baseball. He's a good athlete.
Yeah.
I buy it. Johnny Depp?
Again, a little tougher, but yeah, I could see that happen. I mean, he was in Donnie Brasco, right?
He
As
was
an
in
undercover.
Donnie Brasco. That's
Yeah,
right.
so that makes sense
How about Val Kilmer
for sure.
as Johnny Utah?
Yeah,
How about Val Kilmer as Bodhi?
certainly. Yeah,
It's interesting that you
one.
can see him either one sliding into
Absolutely.
both.
Yeah,
I don't know that I could see Keanu Reeves playing both or Patrick Swayze playing both. But Val Kilmer, I agree with you. He could.
yeah, he could have done both. Yeah.
Okay. Let's talk about Lori Petty for a second.
Okay.
He's a modern savage. He's a real searcher.
What's he searching for?
The ride. The ultimate ride.
Catherine Bigelow insisted not only on Keanu Reeves, but also Lori Petty.
Interesting. I don't know why that would be the case. Like, neither one of them surfed ever before they started making this movie.
She had never been in the ocean.
Yeah, never even seen it.
That's insane to me.
Like,
right?
how do you live in Hollywood and have never seen the ocean?
Right.
That doesn't make any sense.
Right.
But anyway, yeah, and I don't, like, Lori Petty's resume is kind of small in my mind. She may have done a lot of stuff. I'm just not super familiar with it. All I know is, not Major League, but Big League?
A League of Their Own.
Thank you. A League of Their Own.
Yeah, and she's great in that.
And Tank Girl. And that's it.
That's it.
That's all I got.
Yeah.
I don't know why she was the right fit, but she works in this part. I think she's great in this part.
So here's what I think about her. She is great in this part.
Yeah.
I don't think if you have a male director, she ever makes the cut.
You know, you say that, but I mean, you also have a scene where a completely naked, completely hot woman is beating the crap out of Keanu Reeves. And so I don't think I agree with you, actually. I think Catherine Bigelow is not making female director choices. I think she's just making director choices. Okay. I think that she is a more girl next door type. Keanu Reeves is a good looking guy, and he's like, she's given him the get away from me vibes to begin with, but you can almost believe that she would kind of get caught up in his charm. Yeah, I think she's right. I think she's the right choice for this part.
Here's what I heard. I heard that before Catherine Bigelow, they were looking for every blonde actress that we were in love with in 1991.
Sure.
Erica Laniak, Pam Anderson, boobs, blonde, you know.
Right. I'm familiar with those two actresses and their assets, yes.
Okay. But she nails it.
She does.
And she looks great.
Yeah. It's more into the realism of the movie. Again, I think that's part of it. You know, we haven't just dived into it, but I mean, you have this incredible chase scene on foot where they're tripping over garden hoses and using dogs as weapons.
Right.
And falling off of things and sliding down, not in a smooth, suave way, but I'm barely hanging on to this kind of way. I mean, it's really just, I'm not going to say gritty, but it's just real. It's very realistic. And to have him like suddenly seduce this starlet looking girl doesn't feel real.
It all works, so I'm fine with it.
Yeah. The guys who are running the drug house, and Anthony Kiedis and his friends having the overly inflated women in their place, that makes more sense to me.
By the way,
yeah.
The girl who is naked and jumps out of the shower and beats the crap out of Keanu Reeves.
Yes.
Do you recognize her?
I did not.
I know it's a blur.
Yeah, I was going to say, I did not really see her face.
You'd have to be kind of familiar with this movie.
Okay.
Roadhouse.
Okay.
She is the blonde who...
who's getting it?
Who takes it all off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. In the store, in the back room where he fires the guy, right? Fires her.
No, it's a different girl.
Oh.
She's the arm candy of the bad guy, but she's trying to like seduce Dalton to kind of win him over to the bad guy.
I see.
You get to see her in Roadhouse as well.
Okay.
Go back and watch Roadhouse. John C. McGillney.
Special Agent Utah. This is not some job flipping burgers at the local drive-in. Yes, the surfboard bothers me. Yes, your approach to this whole goddamn case bothers me. And yes, you bother me!
Scrubs. He plays California in Seven, which we haven't talked about that very much.
Who is California?
California's the helicopter pilot. Or the guy who is watching from the helicopter. He's like, he shot him. He shot him.
I didn't know that was him.
Yeah, it's John C. McGillney. Yep.
Okay. Wow, that's crazy.
California, stay away from here.
He's great. Like, I love him in the stuff that he's in. He's a great jerk too.
He's a great jerk.
Talk about a trope. He is the yelling a-hole police chief type of character the whole way through, non-stop. And perfect that he gets punched out by Gary Busey in the end.
Oh my gosh, yes. When he goes into the whole young, dumb, and full of cum speech, and Keanu Reeves is just staring at him like, here I am. Yeah, it's really good. Yeah. I know him for Wall Street and Platoon.
Okay.
And he was also in an episode of Frasier, which is really good. So,
right.
Okay.
Okay.
Really good guy. Probably most people know him from Scrubs.
Yeah.
I skipped over somebody that I really want to talk about.
Okay.
Gary Busey.
It's time for lunch.
Angelo, it's 10:30.
Right around that corner, there is a sandwich shop. They sell meatball sandwiches. Best I've ever tasted. Would you go get me two? Come on, partner. Two. Thank you. Utah, get me two.
Well, yeah.
Right?
Gary Busey's an icon.
Crazy, wild, insane Gary Busey.
Yeah. I mean, he was less crazy at the time that they made this movie. He had a motorcycle wreck after this movie, and I remember...
It was before.
No, it wasn't.
It was before. So here's the deal. Gary Busey does like the Buddy Holly story, and he does some stuff early.
Yeah.
He even does this movie that I love called Let's Get Harry in '86. Okay. Which is like the reverse of Red Dawn. But in 87, he has this comeback because he plays Mr. Joshua in Lethal Weapon.
Yep.
And man, we're off and running with Gary Busey as a bad guy, maybe action movies. In 1988, he has a near fatal motorcycle accident.
Yeah.
He fractures his skull, has permanent brain damage, almost dies. In fact, when I saw him talking about this was his first role after that.
Huh.
He calls it his new beginning.
Wow.
He's like, I had been in movies, but this is like my fresh start.
Interesting.
So
He's
you know,
perfect.
You know where he got his start? I sent you a video.
So it's really crazy. You sent this to me, and I was like, my dad brought this show up to me a year and a half ago, right?
Really?
January of 2025, my dad sent me this thing on this old TV show that he said he used to watch that was Gaylord Sartain.
Yes.
Who's the guy, if nothing else, I mean, you've seen him in a million things, but we talked about him in The Outsiders, right? He's the teacher in The Outsiders.
Yep.
But I always remember him as the guy in The Jerk who was like, his airplane seats were cracking and he was asking for money. Like he had all the, he was like, just starts tearing up about his airplane seats cracking. And so, but he was in, I mean, but of course, Hee Haw, right? He was one of the main guys in Hee Haw, and that was how I knew him. But before all of that, he had his own show that may have been local. I don't even know.
It was local.
It was like Tulsa, right?
Tulsa, Oklahoma.
So my dad used to watch, I mean, my dad grew up in western Arkansas. So, you know, just
Pretty
an
close.
hour away, right?
Yeah.
But it was called the Uncanny Film Festival and Camp Meeting.
Okay.
And it was kind of like improv,
Yeah.
you know, whose line is it anyway kind of stuff.
Yes.
And Gaylord Sartain is just hilarious.
Always.
But you send me this clip and it's got Gary Busey playing a like high school football player.
Like Gaylord Sartain is the coach and Gary Busey is the player.
Yeah.
And he's telling him, on your back, on your belly, on your back, back, belly, belly, back, back. Yeah. And Gary Busey is probably, he looks like he's 20. I mean, he's really young.
Yeah.
And it's local Tulsa television.
Yeah. And then sadly, and looking back at it, I realized that just 6 months after my dad told me about the show, Gaylord Sartain passed away in July of 2025.
Yep. The fact that Gary Busey is still alive is pretty amazing.
Impressive as well. Yes.
So you have the motorcycle accident
Yeah.
in 1988. He almost died of a cocaine overdose in 1995.
That's probably where the crazy comes from. There you go.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. He definitely has kind of gone off the rails since then. I can't believe I didn't think this when we were talking about it, but John C. McGillney is one of the Bobs in Office Space.
Yeah, he is. That's
I
right.
forgot all about that. It was an excellent role for him, by the way. Just couldn't, I was just like, I know, not going to work here anymore, that's for sure.
One other role I want to mention for Gary Busey, and
Yes.
I know you haven't seen him in this, and I know you're going to have a hard time believing me,
Okay.
but he does a great job in a movie that's kind of like Point Break in that maybe it shouldn't work, but it really does. The movie's called Under Siege, and it's the one Steven Seagal movie that is really on point.
Okay.
Tommy Lee Jones is the bad guy, and Gary Busey, they're kind of double bad guys.
Okay.
Erica Laniak, Google search,
Yeah.
and Steven Seagal. It's a lot of fun.
Okay.
It's like Die Hard on an aircraft carrier.
Right. That was the plan, right?
There you go.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, let's talk about the servers for a second.
Okay.
So you've got James LaGrosse as Roach.
Yep. He's been in a bunch of stuff, and it's always kind of that side guy. But he's got a great look. I've never seen him in anything that I didn't think he was doing a great job in it.
He was in Near Dark.
Oh, okay.
The one thing I have on him is he married Robert Loggia's daughter.
Okay, that's interesting.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay. Then you have John Philbin, who plays Nathaniel.
Now, he was in, I remember seeing him and I was like, I know that guy's face. I had to look him up. He's in Tombstone.
He's in Tombstone.
One of the main like cowboy guys in Tombstone, right?
It's Cowboy, yep.
Yeah. And what does he say? I ain't your son. So he was an actual surfer.
Yeah.
Like Catherine Bigelow was like, I want to hire surfers who can act, not actors who can surf. And so he was a surfer.
Yeah.
And
He's the guy who pulls down moons the camera.
Thank you. Right. Yeah.
And the only reason he can do that is because he can surf.
Right. Yeah. That's the whole key to the mystery, right? See the tan lines?
That's it.
Like, really? That's your clue? Tan lines?
Tan lines in Southern California.
Why not volleyball? Why not a guy jogging?
Because of the sex wax. Hey, you know what? I want to pause for a second because one of the other cops is absolutely giving it to Gary Busey's character. His name is Pappas.
Yeah.
He's like, surf's up, dude. He's like yucking it up about his theory that they're surfers.
Right.
I'm like, you don't know what they are? You have nobody knows anything.
That's kind of what makes it so good, right?
Yeah. And Keanu Reeves is like, let's go get these guys, you know?
Yeah.
But just the idea that he has just completely written this idea off. I'm like, shut up, man. Yeah. All right. Then you have Jesse Christopher. He plays Gromit.
The younger of the gang.
Yeah.
Also a surfer.
Those two guys are surfers, real life surfers. Yeah. And then you've got Lee Tergesen. He plays Rosie.
Right. I remember him from Wayne's World.
Wayne's World.
Yes. He's the I love you man. Like, talk about two different characters, right?
I give you a no hurl guarantee. Yeah.
Yeah.
Literally, he goes from Point Break right into Wayne's World.
Yeah.
Okay. Then we already talked about Anthony Kiedis plays Tone. He's one of the bad guys in the other gang. Julie Michaels is the girl from Roadhouse. She plays Freight Train. She's the one who beats the crap out of Keanu Reeves. I wanted to point out somebody to you. There is a cameo at the party scene.
Okay.
The camera lingers on her for just a second. She's kind of doing this kind of Buddha dance thing.
Okay. Yeah.
Any idea who she is?
No.
Her name is Betsy Lynn George.
That sounds familiar.
You ever seen the Billy Idol video for Rock the Cradle of Love?
Yes, that's right. We talked about that before.
Yes.
Nice. Yeah, we talked about that on our Billy Idol episode, right?
Go back to our Billy Idol episode where we did Rebel Yell versus
ZZ Top
ZZ
Eliminator.
Top
Look
Eliminator.
at that, baby. Right there. Yeah. Okay, are you done with the casting for...
I only had two more people I want to mention real quick.
Okay, go ahead.
You have a cameo by Tom Sizemore.
Yeah, he's playing the undercover cop. I don't think he even got credit for that. I think he was like, he didn't want it or whatever. I don't know. But like, big guy in a very transitional part. Yeah, it's strange.
But, you know, he's there enough. He's making Cheerios with beer.
Right.
And he's like, you think I like this haircut?
Yeah.
You know, you think I like doing this? And he gets really mad at him for blowing his cover.
Delivers the lines perfectly, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He knew Catherine Bigelow from Blue Steel.
Oh, okay.
And then one other person I wanted to mention, his name is Christopher Pettiette.
Hope you stick with it. Surfing's the source. It'll change your life. I swear to God.
I was going to say. Okay. So I'm watching the movie. It gets to that part. You have this good-looking kid who's talking about, change your life, man.
Change your life, man.
And I was like, I recognize that kid. And so I had to look him up. And he was on The Young Riders. Do you remember The Young Riders TV show?
No.
It came out. It was kind of like the TV version of Young Guns, but it had had Josh Brolin in it as one. It was the Pony Express guys. Listeners, if you remember The Young Riders, tell Jason that I'm not crazy here.
Okay.
But it had him and a couple of other guys that became famous. But this kid was in it as just kind of this younger kid. They may have just called him the kid. I don't even know. But I was like, oh, dude, this guy had all kinds of potential. What happened to him? He died in 2000 of a drug overdose.
Yeah.
It's tragic. Like early 20s.
Yeah. All right. That does it for casting for Point Break.
Okay. That means that we are done with part 1 of Point Break versus...
The Fast and Furious.
The Fast and the Furious. Come back next week. We will talk about casting for The Fast and the Furious, and we will talk about tidbits, and then we will give you our final judgment on which of these two movies are the best.
See you next week, guys.
See you guys.
Vaya con Dios.